Hi guys, today I'm gonna talk about this quote here. Stay hungry, stay foolish. This one is from Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Right. I think this quote here, Steve Jobs said in one of his speeches. He was in a university doing a speech. I don't remember which university it was, and I think that's like the last last sentence he said in this speech, and I think it's a quite fascinating quote because it really reflects a lot about his philosophy and the kind of work that he did for Apple. And I think this quote, what it means in the way I see is that you have to be always excited, and you have to be always motivated and wanting to do the best work of your life, and you have to be like really hungry to work and to make a contribution to the world. You have to find your excitement in life. It doesn't matter what exactly you want to do in your life, but it's important for you to like really be passionate, find your passion and pursue the things that you really love, and that you're gonna constantly stay hungry for it to keep improving yourself and to keep learning, right? So that's my interpretation of the stay hungry. And stay foolish, I think, is about see the world, don't lose your perspective of the world, see the world through the eyes of a child, right? So stay foolish is like, don't assume that you know everything in life, and don't be very dogmatic. Actually, it's totally the opposite. Go away from being dogmatic, from thinking that you know anything about the world or anything about life, right? Because you never know. Like, you never know what's how people will create new stuff, and you never know how society might evolve, right? So I think this one, staying foolish, I think it's about being very open always to new experiences and new learnings, right? Always be open to learn new things and look at the world through a child's eyes, right? Because when you're a child, everything is new, everything is amazing, and it's so easy for you to get excited at something, right? I remember very well when I was a child, like, the amount of things that I was like exploring, and I was playing so many different video games, and I was like watching so many different shows and reading different books and doing different activities, and this is really cool when you're a child, like playing with different toys, right? Exploring. The children love to explore, right? And then as you start to grow older, then you have to pick a career, you have to choose a major, what you're going to pursue, and you have to choose a job, and you have to apply and stay in a job, and then society kinds of curbs you, I think, in a way, which kind of blinds you from that feeling when you were a child, that everything is a great experience, everything there's so many possibilities. When you're a child, you start to believe that everything is possible, right? You can do anything in this world when you're a child. You really believe you believe you can fly, for example. And then, of course, this is part of growing up, and it's part of growing older, is actually to study more and be more caution, right, about things, because you life just keep throwing challenges on you, and everything you want to do in your life, everything starts to become very complicated, and relationships starts to become also very complicated, right? And yeah, then it's very easy to lose your sense of exploration. It's very easy to get demotivated, right? And to just follow whatever society tell us about how we should live our lives, and that's a terrible way of living, and is a terrible way of looking at the world, considering that the world is already there and there's no room for change and no room for improvements, and you are a very small part, and you can't have a direct contribution with the world. So you start to come with these limiting beliefs about yourself, about life, about people. You start to think about these things, and yeah, basically, and then you grow older, and then your life ends, and that's it. Right. So I think what Steve Jobs was trying to say is that you have to actually fight against this pressure and this power that society put on us, and you have to be able to always see new perspectives, and always consider that the world as it is doesn't necessarily needs to be like it is now. You can change the world, you can create something that influence a bunch of people, and that it creates a massive change to the world. And I think especially today with technology, it's possible. Anyone, virtually anyone in the world can have an idea and can execute and put this idea out there in the world and find a way to change the world through these ideas, right? So I think that's something very interesting that represents this quote, right? Stay foolish, don't take things for granted, and whatever is happening now in the world, see the opportunities that exist for you to actually bring the best of yourself and your talent to make a positive impact to the world, right? And it's quite remarkable what Steve Jobs created with the entirety of products that he made for Apple, how he actually was able to, through his creations, and not only his, because I mean it's a teamwork in the end of the day, right? So don't think that I don't believe much about this myth of the genius. You know, I truly believe that what happened at Apple during this time, his time there, is a product of a lot of talented people. And of course he had the big, I think one of his main bigger skills was to attract and to keep the right talent to collaborate with him, right? So yeah, I mean, people like Steve Jobs is really inspiring because you actually see that anything is possible. Like, you can do anything. You can really create something that is gonna change and break all the current in paradigms in the world. Is the power of the invention, right? And it's so profound this that we usually are in our day-to-days and we are constantly having negative thoughts about this stupid shit that happens to us in our lives, that basically we're living we're just blind, completely blind, and we are completely stripped out of our potential to become great, and so I think you gotta always you have to be like careful about these things, because you just live the life. Most of people, they just live the lives based on their beliefs, and they are unable to actually see that their lives could have a much bigger impact in the world, and also a bigger impact in their own lives, right, through their actions. And it takes a lot, like it's incredible how the majority of people that I see and that I know, that's how they behave. They really don't see, they just give up about their potentials, because everybody, when everybody is a child, as I was saying, like, people just believe that they can change the world, because we live in this fantasy, like when you're a child, like everything is beautiful, people smile at you, you believe that everything is possible, and then you just, as you grow older, you just suddenly lose these beliefs, and this is very sad, actually, right? I think what Steve Jobs is saying in this quote is actually to don't lose this fire that is inside of you, despite all the injustice in the world and in your life, no matter how hard it is, and actually no matter how society will try to kill your dreams, and this happens to everyone. Don't put yourself as a victim. Don't think that society and the world is against you. No, it just happens to everyone. It is fucking difficult for everyone. There's no way everybody can be successful. This is a pyramid scheme, basically. For people there's no such thing as infinite success, in a sense, right? If you want success in anything that you do in life, you need a set of beliefs. You first of all, you really need to believe in yourself, and I think that's the thing about this quote, right? Because the stay hungry also means believing in yourself. Means that don't lose your passion, don't lose your motivation, Believe in yourself that you can achieve your greatness, whatever it is. And man, there's so many crazy people in the world doing unbelievable things, right? And actually social media can be quite a a danger, right, and a problem, because you just see how people through social media, it just shows in your face how it's basically, social media is a funny thing, right? It's just it's just a showcase of people doing great things, isn't it? I mean, it can also be a showcase of people doing very stupid things. And most of the times it is, right? I would say 99% is a showcase of stupidity. But at the same time, it's always about social media. It's always about like the people at the top doing something amazing, having a lot of followers, right? It's quite interesting that then this, of course, when you look at all these things and you look at all these successful people with their big cars and expensive luxury houses and trophy wives and everything, man, you start to really feel bad about yourself, and then that's the thing, that's the pressure of society. You start to believe that you can't, right? And it's if you really truly believe that you can't, most probably you won't. And and I understand that most of these people who are there, who reach the top of their level on whatever they want to pursue, I'm not saying that they're happy. I don't buy on that. I don't believe that these people and all these people are, they reach their top and they're extremely happy. No, most of them are not, right? Because that's the thing. Like, this is not a reflection of being happy or not. I think happiness truly is just a mindset, right? And maybe that's why also social media can be a drag. Social media can actually be a drug and a drag, because while looking at this, you're like putting yourself automatically, right? Your mind just automatically start comparing yourself with others, and this is not good, It's not about. I don't think I do want to do things to I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm competing with others. Although competition is actually a good thing, right? So that's another thinking, that you shouldn't be afraid of competition. You should embrace it. Because without competition, without actually knowing what is possible to do, nobody would do it, right? So actually competition is, in a way, the only form of evolution through society. Because you want to do something, and then you see you see someone doing that similar thing that you try to accomplish in a very good way, and then you get excited, you look at that. And that there's two ways of seeing it. You can either get excited by looking at that and seeing, wow, this is like really advanced, what this particular person did, and you want to actually strive to do something better. That's one way of seeing. Or you can just also see another way, which is, wow, this person really did something amazing, but do I want to follow his or her path? Do I want to copy this person, or do I want to create my own thing? Because that's also a very interesting way of seeing things, right? Instead of trying to compete with someone, why not being yourself? That's much more is a much more healthy thing to pursue, right? To be yourself and try to be actually the best of yourself and not falling into this trap that can become a trap, like the competition trap. Because, be yourself and believe in yourself, and try to be the best of yourself. And then if you get out of this competition trap, and if you are yourself, I think your chances of succeeding in whatever you want to do, your chances of doing something that you will succeed at, maybe your chances are much higher, because you're gonna have a clear mindset, Like, imagine you're a musician or an artist, for example. Like, I'm doing these posters here. If I start to compare myself with other artists or other designers, I'm really gonna lose myself, because there are designers and artists which are 10 times better than me, and I know about it. I understand, I recognize that. So should I be neurotic and try to copy them and follow what they do? Or should I forget about all that and pursue my style, my own particular style? And then if people like it, great. If people doesn't like, I don't give a damn. Well, I think the second option, this last option, for me at least, it looks much more healthy, right, for my mind. I think it's better if I actually stop browsing Instagram to look for inspiration or to check how many followers my competitors in this field that I have, and instead use all this energy and all this time to focus on doing something very unique and something that is mine. So I think, in my way of seeing things, I think that's a more interesting way, a much more healthy and happy way to pursue life, right? Another healthy way. So if you can't achieve originality, if you are pursuing something that clearly there are competitors, and if you're doing something like sports, for example, which, if you're a football player, or suppose you're a golf player like Tiger Woods, you want to play golf, this is a very precise activity that there's not much room for originality, although there is. But in the end of the day, sports is about the number of titles and the number of awards and accolades that you acquire, right? So yeah, even though you can be very original on sports, you can also have you have to actually look at the competition and see what they're doing as a source of inspiration and as a source of learning, right? So you have to put in your mindset that competition, it is a good thing if you look at competition through the perspective of learning, right? Then competition actually is the only way to learn, because you learn by watching other people do, right? So in that sense, there's not many reason for you to feel bad when you see someone achieving something much greater than you. What you gotta do is try to understand what exactly did they do to reach that. And that's why today people are very much into mentorship, right? People would love to have mentors, and they want to have people which they respect teaching them about something, how to achieve something, right? So yeah, I think that's it. This is a very interesting quote. I hope you enjoy this one, and I hope you enjoy the poster. Steve Jobs is definitely a great inspiration for me, and for, I think, for a lot of people, because it was a very smart person. I personally love Apple products, and I really enjoy everything that he was able to create, even though I just don't necessarily agree with this consumerism model that technology has created in the last years, where everything has to be like upgraded every year. But regardless of that, I think Apple is a great company, and it's definitely, especially me who is a designer, I think it's a company that is really exciting, to actually really inspire people and inspire the world, right? So here you go. Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish by Steve Jobs. Thank you very much.